Nishinoshima Ogasawara. Nishinoshima is a volcanic island located around 940 km south-southeast of Tokyo, that is part of the Volcano Islands arc. It has also been known as Rosario Island. Originally the above-water part of the ridge of an underwater caldera, Nishinoshima was enlarged in 1974 after fresh eruptions created a new section of the island. Another eruption that began in November 2013 further enlarged the island and attracted worldwide attention. A volcanic cone soon formed, raising to an estimated height of 142 m by July 2016. The eruptions ceased by November 2015, though emissions of volcanic gases continued for several months afterwards. In April 2017, new eruptions on the island were reported. As of 2016, the island is about 2.7 km superscript 2 in size and evinces the return of various plants and animal species. The island was named Rosario Island when it was discovered by the Spanish ship Rosario in 1702. That was the island's name until 1904 when the Japanese term Nishinoshima was made the official name. When a new island was formed in the 1973 eruption, that was called Nishinoshima Shint, but due to erosion and shifting sands, that island joined the main island and ceased to be a separate entity. During the early stages of the 2013 eruption, a new volcanic island was formed about southeast from the original Nishinoshima. The island was not given an official name but was mentioned in Japanese reports as New Island, Atarashi Shima or Shint. Government officials said the island would be named after it is stable and it is clear it will remain. As the island has now merged with Nishinoshima, there is little possibility it will be named as a separate entity. Prior to 1974, Nishinoshima was a small, green island which had no eruptions in the past 10,000 years. The island was merely the tip of an undersea volcano some 3,000 m in height and 30 km wide at the base. Its main period of activity was from the late Pleistocene to the Holocene. The volcano takes the form of a caldera, with the original Nishinoshima and some nearby rocks forming part of the northwest ridge of a caldera about 1 km in diameter. The island was originally about 650 m long and 200 m wide. A 1911 survey determined the caldera was 107 m at its deepest. The volcano has many large, submarine, satellite cones to the south, west, and northeast. The southern cone rises to within 196 m of the surface, around 9 km SSE of Nishinoshima. On May 30, 1973, the crew of a passing ship noted that, at around 11 o'clock, white smoke rose east of the island to around 100 m in the air every few minutes. An aerial inspection the next day said that the eruption was taking place 400 m east of the island. A whirlpool was also seen. Yellow-green sea water and floating pumice were seen 5 km north of the site. Another crew discovered that two black rocks were rising from the sea. In July, the eruption continued to erupt water fountains every few minutes with white smoke rising to 100 m above sea level. An aerial inspection on September 14 noted that a new island had formed above the submarine eruption site. The island formed a cinder cone around 40 m high and 120 m across. The new island had a 70 m diameter crater that frequently ejected cinders to a maximum height of 300 m. White smoke rose to a height around 1,500 m high. In November, a fissure eruption was noted on the new island with a chain of cinder cones running from southwest to northeast. The most recent cones were formed at the end of the chain, with the original cone being destroyed by the waves. The cones were erupting ash to a height of around 300 m. In December, the new island grew larger than old Nishinoshima. The island was 700 m long and 250 m wide. The new island had now developed a central crater that rose to a maximum height of 40 m. The cone was continuing to eject ash and cinders to a height of 100 m. A small craterlet on the new island was also emitting lava flows. By February 1974, the new island had developed two cinder cones at the western end of the new island, but only the eastern cinder cone was erupting. Observations on January 11 noted that the active eastern cinder cone was emitting a lava flow. In March, the new island was still erupting. By then, the island had 5 cinder cones. One cinder cone was erupting red-hot lava. Lava flows were still erupting from the new island's flanks. On March 1st, the 5 cinder cones were quiet, but a large lava flow may have still been effusing from the island's flanks. After that, the eruption ended. Wave movements then joined the new and old islands. In November 2013, an eruption created a new, small island south-southeast off the shore of the original island. By December 2013, the island rose 20-25 m above sea level, with an area of 56,000 square meters. The island was considered large enough to maintain a presence above sea level for at least several years. By December 20, 2013, the island had grown fast enough that experts predicted that it would probably join up with Nishinoshima before the end of 2013, and cease to be a separate island. On December 26, 2013, the Japanese Coast Guard confirmed that the 2 islands had joined. The United States Space Agency, NASA, says 2 cones have formed around the main volcanic vents and stand more than 60 m above sea level. The newer portion of the island is now larger than the original Nishinoshima landmass. The merged island is slightly more than 1 km across. During July and August 2014, lava flow increased, causing the island to expand rapidly to the east. Between September and December, the lava flow increased further and headed north, almost completely overrunning the pre-existing island. On December 27, 2014, Japanese authorities said the island had reached nearly 2.3 km in size and is estimated to have risen to about 110 m above the sea level, and that the volcano was still active. A pyroclastic cone formed around the vents, which further rose the island to about 135 m by February 23, 2015. The eruption continued throughout the first half of 2015, and the island continued to expand. However, by August, the volcano ceased to erupt smoke and ash, but continued to emit lava. As of September 16, 2015, the total area of the island had decreased slightly, but the fumarolic zone had expanded as vigorous volcanic activity continued without significant change. Eruptions resumed soon thereafter, but November 17, 2015, was the date of the last observed explosive eruption. Fumarolic activity continued, but decreased in amount as no new lava flows were observed. Decreases in temperatures were also recorded, and subsidence was observed near the summit of the volcano. In August 2016, the Japan Meteorological Agency announced that the alert level for the volcano had been lowered, and that the no-entry zone had been reduced from a radius of 2 km to a radius of 500 m. This would finally enable landings on the island. Water discoloration was still evident immediately offshore in August, indicating that volcanic activity, while in significant decline, was still present. On February 14, 2017, the Japan Meteorological Agency cancelled all alerts for the island, declaring that there was no indication of subsequent eruptions. On October 2016, a team of scientists visited Nishinoshima to conduct research on the island. Apart from documenting the island's ecology and geology, monitoring equipment was also installed for future volcanic activity. The eruption has provided an explanation for the northern Pacific blob, which has puzzled scientists. It is an example of geothermal heat responsible for episodic heating in oceans. On April 20, 2017, the Japan Coast Guard confirmed explosive eruptions at the No. 7 crater at Nishinoshima and lava flows emerging from the base of volcano. Satellite imagery from April 19 also confirmed high temperatures on the island. Examination of the data revealed that the eruption likely began on April 17. By April 27, 2 lava flows had reached the sea, one on the west shore, the other on the southwest shore of the island. By June 29, the flows had created 2 lobes, one extending 330 meters beyond the western shore, and other 310 to the southwest. The area of the island increased to 2.9 square kilometers. By July, surface temperatures began to decrease until they became indistinguishable from the surroundings in August. Lava flows also stopped by the end of August. On October 3, the Coordinating Committee for Prediction of Volcanic Eruptions of the Japan Meteorological Agency announced that Nishinoshima had likely ceased erupting. In June 2018, the JMA announced that the no-entry zone had been reduced from a radius of 2 km to a radius of 500 m. Within a month, however, the zone was returned to 1500 m after small eruptions were spotted on July 12, 2018. Since the 2013 eruption, biologists have expressed great interest in how Nishinoshima would be colonized by plants and wildlife. It is expected that organic matter, mainly deposited by nesting birds in the form of feathers or excrement, would enrich the island surface for plants to grow. To prevent interference of the colonization process, researchers were also advised not to bring external species to Nishinoshima. On October 2016, a team of scientists visited Nishinoshima to examine its environment and geologic makeup for the first time up close. Their studies have discovered that both plant and animal life continue to exist on the remaining part of the old Nishinoshima island that had not been covered by lava. An accompanying video crew from Nippon TV captured masked boobies laying eggs in a pod of dolphins swimming off the coast. Gannets, bramblings, and earwigs were also discovered living on the island by researchers. Several cetaceans have been known to live around the island prior to the eruption, such as spinner dolphins and short-finned pilot whales, and above-mentioned bottlenose dolphin. Humpback whales had been seen before the eruption, and their recent returns have been confirmed as well. In terms of flora, plants that were present on the original island like goosegrass and purslane were found to be growing again on the old section of Nishinoshima.